Tonight on Mello Tv Sports, Alia Atkinson and the London Roars finished third in the International Swimming League. Premier League games will allow spectators in low-risk areas. And Jason Tatum agrees to a 5-year contract extension with the Boston Celtics. And we dive into Mello TV Sports with some swimming news now, as Jamaica's Alia Atkinson produced 1 second and 1 third place individual finish as her and the London Roars team finished the International Swimming League in Budapest, Hungary in 3rd place. Atkinson caught the 3rd place finish in the women's 50-meter breaststroke, touching in at 28.88 seconds. She was then a part of the women's 4x100-meter medley relay team, which finished second in a time of 3 minutes 45.14 seconds. In the women's 100-meter breaststroke, Atkinson finished second in 1 minute 03.56 seconds. In the 50-meter breaststroke, Atkinson did 29.68 for third in round 2 and missed the final. She finished 4th overall and earned her team 11 points. The London Roar finished 3rd overall with 391 points, as the Calais Condors won with 561.5, followed by Energy Standard 464.5. We kick it over to football news now. Burnley finally got their Premier League campaign up and running, securing their first win of the season with a 1-0 victory over Crystal Palace today. Striker Chris Wood sent the hosts on their way in the 8th minute, emphatically finishing past goalkeeper Vicente Gaita to score Burnley's first home goal of the season. A victory lifts Sean Dyche's side out of the relegation zone to 17th, while defeat sees Crystal Palace, who were without their talisman Wilfried Zaha, drop a place to 10th. In the other day's game today, Wolves had to come from behind to earn a 1-1 draw with Southampton. Meanwhile, up to 4,000 spectators will be allowed to attend Premier League games in low-risk Tier 1 areas of England when a month-long national lockdown to contain the spread of COVID-19 is lifted on December 2. As part of the new COVID-19 restrictions, fans will be allowed to return to outdoor sporting events in low-risk areas. A total of 2,000 fans will be allowed to attend sporting events in Tier 2 areas, but none can do so in Tier 3 areas. Premier League matches have continued behind closed doors during the lockdown announced on November 1. Supporters have not been allowed into sporting venues since the first lockdown was announced back in March, barring a few expectations. Members of Parliament are set to cast a vote on plans before they are confirmed, and the government will announce these plans on Thursday, which areas will go into which tiers. Originally, Prime Minister Boris Johnson had said fans will be allowed to return to games in October, but that plan was quickly scrapped after an increase in COVID-19 cases. Still on football, the head of African football, Ahmad, has been banned from the game for 5 years by FIFA following an ethics investigation by the world governing body. Ahmad, who is the president of the Confederation of African Football, had intended to stand in an election in March in which he would face a number of challenges. FIFA said in a statement, the Independent Ethics Committee has found Ahmad guilty of offering and accepting gifts and other benefits and misappropriation of funds. He was also fined 200,000 Swiss francs. On Friday, FIFA banned Haitian Federation President Yves Jean-Bart from the sport for life following accusations of systematic sexual abuse of female players. On to some basketball news now. The Boston Celtics and star forward Jason Tatum have agreed to a 5-year, $195 million max extension. The deal could reportedly approach $200 million with an all-NBA escalators and will take effect for the 2021-2022 season, as the 22-year-old has a year remaining on his rookie contract. The Celtics selected Tatum number 3 overall in the 2017 draft out of Duke. He broke out in a big way during last season, averaging a career-high 23.4 points per game in the coronavirus-shortened season. The mark eclipsed his 2018-2019 average by nearly 8 points. Tatum averaged 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1.4 steals per game, also career highs, as he was named to his first All-Star team and to the All-NBA third team. He led the Boston Celtics with 189 three-pointers. He averaged 25.7 points and 10 rebounds per game in the postseason, leading the Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they lost to the Miami Heat in 6 games. Tatum averaged 40.6 minutes per game in 17 postseason contests. Tatum is the third player from the 2017 draft class to sign a max extension since free agency opened up on Friday, joining Utah Jazz guard Donovan Mitchell and Sacramento Kings guard De'Aaron Fox. Now to end tonight's sports package, we present you with the play of the night. Henrik Mkhitaryan's wonderful goal for AS Roma versus Parma on Saturday.
Roma can settle down now and play with more freedom, having got the opening goal. Spinazzola, so important in the final third. Mkhitaryan! Wonderful! Outrageously good from the man in form. Some of the Roma players wanted a free kick. The advantage was played, and Mkhitaryan thumped it into the back of the net. The field for Luigi Sepe. Borja Mayoral thought he was caught. Mkhitaryan played to the whistle and continues his fabulous sequence in front of goal.
And what a rocket of a goal that was. And those are the stories making sports news tonight. We now head back to the news desk with Tamara Mikhail.
Thank you, Christopher. And now to end tonight's newscast, here are the main points. 5 people dead and several others hospitalized following a series of shootings in the corporate area on the weekend. The police have since identified the elderly woman and her 2 granddaughters who were shot and killed at their home in Trial Heights in Spanish Town, St. Catherine yesterday afternoon. Jamaica has recorded 59 new cases of COVID-19 and 1 death as a result of the virus for November 22. The country's total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases now stand at 10,343. And Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the Jamaica Cares insurance program gives insurance companies an opportunity to join in the efforts of fighting the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in providing visitors with health and safety coverage. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning into Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Tamar Mikhail. Remember to stay safe and pleasant viewing.
The Mello TV Evening News at 8 was brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with the cold or flu-like symptoms. If you think you've been exposed to COVID-19, stay home. Self-isolate immediately and call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.